Hi, my name's Alex Hipwell, and I'm happily a guest today on Café Schwarz oder mit Milch.
Hey Alex.
Hey Alex.
Love to have you here as my guest on this beautiful day. Well, that's your first question. If you're drinking your coffee, if you prefer it black or with milk?
Do you know what? I have to go with oat milk. I'm going to put that word right in front. It used to be black, and I've transitioned to oat milk.
Yeah, for me, it's the same thing. Oat milk, that's the only way to drink a coffee.
Absolutely.
So, how are you today?
I'm actually really good. I just finished my conditioning. So this morning I did my home workout in the living room and finished 5 minutes before we're supposed to jump on. So I've got a nice bit of a sweat glow happening here.
Well, if you could see Alex right now, she's wearing her new shirt. It's Friday, guys. When the podcast episode comes out, it's Sunday. But on every Friday, it's Friday. Shake your tits or shake your tits. It's Friday.
Shake your tits. It's Friday.
Oh yeah, love that.
Yeah.
How did this slogan happen?
Do you know, when I teach so just a little bit about, sure, you know me a lot from CrossFit and all that kind of stuff and Nike and so forth. But my 9 to 5, if you want to call it, is, concept building for boutique fitness studios. And one of the methods that I created is BAR. And BAR is like a mixture of all of my rehab, warm up, cool down, rehabilitation stuff that I had given to me as a dancer when I was injured, and I turned it into a workout, and it is quite a popular workout throughout the world. But this is my method, and throughout my class, I teach every day, and throughout my class, I have different slogans that I use, and they are all kind of connected to the bar movements within one of my bar methods. Yeah. And one of them on a Friday is shake your tits, it's Friday. And I've always said it to my class, and it's just kind of something they know. What's the other one? Tuck for tacos. So you'll be tucking your hips under. So I always say, tuck for tacos, it's Tuesday. If you shake, I love you. And there's a whole lot of different kind of slogans that I use in my class just to kind of motivate people. And shake your tits, it's Friday was one of them. And it became quite popular actually on Instagram. And I would always post something kind of funny to make people feel good and remind you, the week's over, but still stay motivated for Friday and have a great weekend and don't kind of fall off the wagon going into the weekend. Just because it's the weekend, stay motivated, stay on top of your game. So that's where Shake Your Tits, It's Friday came from. And now I made a t-shirt to go with launching my logo.
I mean, Shake Your Tits, It's Friday. It's like, for me, it's the most noble slogan I know from you. But question here for you, do you know when we first met? Like we know each other for a longer time now, but do you know when what was the first time?
I think it was at a competition, wasn't it?
I guess so, but I can't remember when was the first one. If it was Berlin Throwdown or another
Beast
one.
Of Berlin?
Yeah, even Beast of Berlin, I guess. Yeah.
It could be Beast of Berlin. That was my first CrossFit competition that I ever went to watch. Nike had played quite a big role, and I was still bodybuilding at the time. And I had just started to include CrossFit twice a week into my training program for bodybuilding. So Nike asked me to come along, and I was just like in awe of everything on that dance floor.
I guess it was 2017. That was my second competition I was ever hosting. The Beast of Berlin. Unfortunately, it's not holding here. No,
not anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh well, I hope it's coming back soon. But Well, the all the lockdown and COVID stuff will postpone all events for, I guess, next year, second half. But if we have a look on Alex Hipwell right now, you're known as Nike Master Trainer. You're the one who is really doing a lot of stuff. Like if I ask myself if I do enough, and I look at you as an inspiration, you're doing like twice as much. Like, what are you doing right now for the whole day?
It's funny you say that, because my graphic designer Jens, he said to me, do you want a business card? What would you put on the business card? And I thought, what would I put on my business card? And I think I'd just be Alex Hipwell. I do stuff. You know, it's like bit shit and stuff. I do so many different things, yes, but I hope that I never make anybody feel that they're not doing enough, because you know, stay on your path and stay at your pace. You know, you're on the right track, and just use me as an inspiration and a motivation, but don't ever let my journey make you feel that you're not doing enough. So where am I at now? How does my day look? Yeah. You know, I get up quite early in the morning. Probably one of the my favorite things to do is to get up when it's still dark. I make a coffee and I get back into bed. So I know, right? And I just sit there in silence and I drink my coffee in silence.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, my oat milk coffee, flat white. It's something that I actually get excited about when I'm going to sleep at night. So that's the first thing I do. My getting up ritual is actually kind of funny, and I think I'm going to let you know what I do. I talk to myself when I get up. It's a connection that I have with, you know, getting your brain connected to your body. So when you get up in the morning, the first thing you do is put your feet on the ground, right? So you say it out loud. I'm putting my feet on the ground and I'm standing up. And then I'm walking. I can, you know, walking right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. Go to the toilet. And then if you make a coffee, for example, I'm putting the cup with my right hand under the coffee machine. I'm picking the cup up with my left hand. You know, I start to say the things that I'm doing. You connect your brain to your movement. There's quite a bit of nice research done on that. And that's just become a bit of a habit. And then I jump back into bed and I open one side of the curtain and I just sit there. And it's not a long time, but it's like, it's almost a form of meditation. And I just sit there and just be with myself, with my thoughts. How do I feel? You know, what's going to happen throughout the day, and just kind of come kind of to a happy place, and not be, I suffer a lot from anxiety, and I have done my whole life. So I need to be aware of not taking on a massive to-do list, and, you know, just being able to tick a couple of things off and be okay with that. I don't have to do the whole thing. You know, I don't have to get everything done. And also to be okay with saying no. So at the moment, I have my son every second week. So if my son is with me, then we've got school drop off in the morning, and then I go and do my first conditioning session of training. If he's not with me, I go straight in and do conditioning. So conditioning is pretty much like with a good warm up around an hour. Then I head off and I'll teach my first class. So 10:15 is always my first bar class. A lot of the time it's back to back. So I have 2 classes. Then I'll go into the office and start working on a couple of new projects that we're doing. So I'm building the concepts and the products of some really, really exciting projects in the fitness industry.
Oh, I guess. I mean, I'm open to every new concept, and I get to know like a lot of concepts the last years. Could you say what concept you were like working on the last years, which is right now on the market, or is that?
So sure. So I was a part of building, like 3 or 4 years ago now, the first boutique studio in Berlin, which was B-Cycle. So I consulted on that. And that, you know, brought the methods to life there. And then you train the trainers and get everything moving, start teaching within that space. Then I went to Australia and created their boutique studio there. Same thing, you know, kind of do some market research, build the concept, train the trainers, create the trainer books. And then came John and James, which is the first boutique studio from RSG Group, which is, you guys would all know McFit and John Reed. They have the chain fitnesses, yes. But they created a very small, unique team of like 6 or 7 of us, and we create the boutique studio. So the first one we did was Soul Base, which is very yoga, low impact. So you've got your yoga and your bar and your Pilates, but then we added a fusion to it. So I created Strong Bar, which is where you're using weights. And then you've got TRX Pilates, and then so fusions of workouts, strong yoga. So you've got kettlebells in your yoga class, and then we have workshops and so forth there, but also the experience of a boutique studio. They're all come to life, and we're on to the next one now that we're working on, which is still a bit of a secret. So yeah.
I'm excited. I mean, I'm working for the last, I don't know, 10 years in the fitness industry. And you know, there are also already trends which are going up and down. I mean, cycling, indoor cycling was a pretty big hype 10 years ago. And now it's coming back in a different way, which is a little bit smoother, I guess. Also with the design, it's not so dark and like a disco. I can remember like 10 years ago was on the FIBO, these big rooms with over 150 people doing cycling, and the floor was all wet. I mean, can you remember this?
Yes, absolutely.
But how did the fitness industry right now for you changed on the concept a little? Is boutique like more a way to get fitness to people, or is it like more? I don't know. What's your thought about that?
So boutique is bringing more of an overall experience to the consumer. So it's not just the workout that people go there for. People go there because the change room is beautiful, because the showers are beautiful. You get a fresh towel. You're greeted at the front desk by someone who knows your name. You feel exclusive. And then you have a method or a class. So they stick to 1 or 2 disciplines. There's not like 500 different classes that you can join. It's really one particular style of training that is unique to that studio. Soul Cycle, you know, B Cycle, Ride Berlin, Beat 81, even moving into London, Define, like all of those, cycling, Flywheel. They have a particular method that they have created that is unique to them. Their music is unique. Soul Cycle, for example, do a lot of dancing on the bike. That's very similar to Ride Berlin. I'm very old school when it comes to cycling and indoor cycling. You know, I like to feel that it's functional and it's helping me outside of that room. You know, it's not like it's not just a movement or a workout where, you know, I go in and have a bit of fun and dance on a bike. Mine, I like to do it because it has a purpose to it. But that's what's great about all the different studios, because it fits everybody's different needs and different requirements. I think it's a great class. And I don't think that it should be the only thing that people do. But I do think boutique is very fashionable now. Rather than having a big gym, you need a small space. Make it unique, make it special, give the consumer an experience. And I really think we're going to be seeing a lot more boutique studios popping up in Berlin.
Hope so too. After you work for the concepts for the boutique studios, like, do you have another class on a day, or is it then over and you're finished with the day?
No, so I have my bar classes. There's like 3 different styles of bar. Or different methods. I also teach the boot camp method, which is power base. So there's another studio where I teach at. I substitute all the teachers if they're, you know, dance cardio. I created a dance cardio method, which is super fun, but actually kicks my own butt. So, and then I've got my own lifting session in the afternoon as well. So yeah.
So you have about 3 hours of your own workout a day?
Yes, actually, if I was to do it, I do listen to my body though. So I have to, it's not that I'm just training. If there's a lot going on or my head's full, or if I have my son, for example, then my training is probably not the first thing to go, but I'll look at the day and I'll be like, okay, what's the best part of the training program today how do I feel? Should I just do the conditioning part or should I just do the lifting part? So it's not, I don't always have the possibility to do both sessions, but I do it when my son's with his father.
Oh, okay. Well, that's like a casual day of you during the week. So what means CrossFit or functional fitness to you? You talked about that for like lifting session and your cardio session. Is CrossFit still kicking your ass, or is it like a daily routine for you?
It kicks my butt. And you know what? It kicks my butt and it also kicks my mind. It's a daily challenge. It's a daily physical and mental challenge for me.
So you're doing the mesh on I guess it's Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at it and I like, okay, you really meshing everything in this workout, and it looks fun. I mean, I saw you on Evope, I guess, doing the mesh with some peeps, and I love to see that because everybody had really fun on it. And you were teaching it like, really, this is a program for today, do it, have fun. Like this is
exactly
the case. This is also the case you're doing a class, or how does probably CrossFit is different to your classes you're doing on like somebody?
It's no different for me. I feel that my position here, or my role as a trainer, is to make people move, to get people up and to get you moving. And if I can remind you that you move because you can, not because you have to. And that's something that I don't want I would hate that anyone ever took for advantage, or, you get to move because you want to move, or you get to move because you can. Like, you have the possibility to just move. There are people who don't have this. So when you show up for yourself, you've just done the hardest part, and you have to enjoy what you do. Otherwise you're not going to show up for yourself. So find something within that workout. Yes, it should be challenging, and yes, you should improve and so forth. And there are moments within that workout where I start questioning my life choices, but I've never walked away from a workout and been like, I'm never doing that again, and that was horrible, and why would I do that? Sure, you question it in a funny way, but the MASH itself, I really look forward to this physical and mental pain that we go through all together as a big group of us. But we have fun and we look forward to it and we enjoy it, and we do what's possible for our body.
Well, what was the most, I would say, what was the most workout which challenged you the most on a competition or even in a program, which was like you were looking at it like, fuck no?
Well, there's two different answers there, because there was a competition that I did, the Amsterdam Throwdown. It was my first competition, and there was a workout that I let get the better of me, and I lost. I gave up before I'd even started, which was a shame because a lot of the movements were mine. So I had a talk with my coach straight after it, and changed my mindset for the next one. And I didn't look at the workout and be like, hell no. But that had to be the worst experience of my life. The pain, like it was, and I told everybody, I was like, if I put the bar down, I need you to yell in my face and tell me to pick it up, because I'm going to win this heat. Like, there is no other way. Like, I want to cross that line. I need to catch up. And it was Randy. So it was 75 snatches for time. And And I swear to you, like,
Oh,
what was that? It was disgusting. It was absolutely revolting. But I went in with a mindset. There's a photograph actually of me before I go on, and I'm staring at the barbell right behind the line. And I was like, I changed my whole mindset. Like, people put the barbell down and rolled it to the next, like you did it in like 25s.
Yeah,
and
right.
rolled it to the next thing. I popped that bar on my shoulders and walked over the line and went straight back in. It was a mindset that I grew as a person and as an athlete in that moment. That's where it changed. That's where I improved as an athlete in that moment.
Oh, nice. I mean, that sounds so good. When I'm on the stage hosting, I always see that grind in somebody's face, and I can tell you from experience which athlete is winning the heat before they even started.
Mm.
It's just like some people are just a little bit too hyped. They're pumping up a little bit too strong because they're not feeling it, and probably they need this a little bit more motivation, like popping on the shoulders and on the legs and stuff. And some of them are just staying on the competition field and having fun and like smiling and going like this, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna win this. Like really focused on having fun and doing the best.
Yeah, that's actually interesting what you just said. Because I have a couple of clients that I work with, a couple of athletes that I'm working with on mindset. And there are two things that I went through last week with both of the athletes. And that was, there's two different mindsets that you have as an athlete. One is an aggressive mindset where you slap and you're loud and you bring it, and the way you speak to yourself is very aggressive, which is great. But then there's also the calm mindset. So you need to know when to use which one. Some athletes can always be aggressive and some athletes always need to be calm. But sometimes you need to be versatile, and you need to know when you need to pull it in and rein it in and start to focus in yourself and be present, rather than slapping and just throwing your energy outside of the box. But, you know, there are times when you go to lift where you need to be aggressive. You need to like really talk loud so that the way that you grab that bar reflects through your body and through your mind. But for this particular movement or this workout that we just talked about, I had to go into a calm mindset. I had to go back to what I know from when I was younger as a performer. I needed to focus, and I needed to pull everything that I had into my breath and into just constantly reminding myself to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I love this grind, and this is the case why I love CrossFit or functional fitness so much, because you see those different stages of an athlete during the workout, before the workout, after the workout, and even warming up, post preparing for the next workout, whatever. But have you ever been this Alex who's focused this much on a workout, or where did you started your fitness journey like a few years ago?
So my fitness journey started probably, I mean, I was a professional dancer for 15 years and transitioned into the fitness world, let's say more of the aesthetic fitness world, 10 years ago, when I decided to step off the stage as a dancer and step on the stage as an athlete. And I wanted to change the way that I looked. So coming from a dance world, I was still very, very focused on aesthetics, and it was all about how I looked. And of course, therefore, I was focused on fitness models and figure athletes from bodybuilding world. So I saw that as a challenge for myself to really, you know, can I do that? Can I stick to a diet? Can I set a goal that is so big that it scares me and no one believes me that I can do it? So I set off on that path, and during that time, Nike picked me up, and it was through my bodybuilding career that I realized for me to change the way I looked naturally, I started to kind of look towards the CrossFit girls, and I was like, I need a bit of their thickness. You know, I was just so fine, and I needed this thickness. What if I start doing some CrossFit. Would that help me? So long story short, I jumped into 2 sessions a week of CrossFit, and of course couldn't do stuff like snatches or overhead squats because I had to stay quite tiny in my waist. But all the other stuff, you know, I started to join in on, and I just loved it. And I felt all these like pieces of the puzzle started to come in, and I started to eat to fuel my performance rather than my aesthetic appearance. I started to sleep to fuel my recovery rather than, you know, just not even being aware of my sleep. I started to research as a trainer more into how I can improve my strength, how I can change the way that I look through my movements.
Yeah, right.
I started to warm up to my movement preparation. You know, I started to prepare warm-up routines, mobility routines that prepared me to move. So my focus started to drift from this aesthetic to more of this performance-based. And I just fell in love. Like, I fell in love with the challenges I had for my body, and age was never an issue for me. And the people and the other athletes that I was surrounded by was just inspiring and motivating. And I wanted to be a part of this world. I wanted to be a part of this daily grind and challenge mentally and physically. So after I reached my goal of the German team at the World Championships bodybuilding, I remember walking away from the stage with my German tracksuit on, and I was like, and I said goodbye. And it was exciting. And it was like, you know, I'd reached the goal that I wanted. I didn't win, I got second, but I won in my own heart because I looked exactly how I wanted to look. And I was up there as a natural athlete. Well, you know, it's like you don't know really, but the other athletes, what they're doing. But I made it to the World Championships for the German team, and I stepped off stage, and I stepped straight into CrossFit. And I was like, right, what do I have to do? And it's just been a beautiful journey since then.
So right now in the CrossFit scene, I guess you're mostly known as, for me especially, for the one and only badass host on a stage. Like you get me inspired the last years for hosting events. When I started 4 years ago, I just knew you as like the top in Germany. Really, there were several other hosts like Simon from St. Pauli Athletic. There was I don't know his name, but his Instagram account, like Socks and Barbels and Socks.
Barbels and Socks, yeah. He was doing FIBO and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, right. And Gary from What Up.
Yeah.
These were my three ones I know, but there was Alex like really on top of it. How you did get into this one, and do you love the competition as an athlete more or as a host?
You know, it's thank you for the compliment. I mean, I come from the stage, so I'm not afraid to speak into a microphone, to speak into a camera. I get excited. I don't get so much as nervous. And you know, I think with that life experience of performing, singing and acting on stage for musical theater days, we can be spontaneous, and that's what makes us. You know, we're not just reading off a piece of paper. We are reading other people's body languages. We're talking about their emotions on the floor. You know, we are clear with how we pronounce words and how we communicate with the audience. We keep them involved and give them an emotional connection to it. So I absolutely love hosting. If I could host more, I would. You know, I think if the opportunity was there for me to host more, you know, give me the mic. I love it. You know, I always wanted my own TV show, so I kind of just pretend that this is my show for the day, and these are my guests. So yeah, I love hosting. I would do it every weekend if I could. You know, I always say to you, I'm always, you know, in contact with you when you're hosting, and how's it going? And I think you're the same. When we go and watch a competition, yes, we see the athletes, but the person on the microphone helps with how I feel about the competition. And if you don't hold me and don't capture me, then it's a different experience altogether. So I feel that the competitions should focus on who they have as a host, because it matters. It matters to the public. It matters to the athletes. And there's a couple out there that I also think are really, really great. But I'm honored to be on your top 5. So thank you.
I mean, I was hosting a lot of events, but we are still planning to have a hosting together, and I'm looking forward for the next year. I'm already planning on this one with the. I didn't told you yet, but we will host something together. But for your plans for the future, there are several big projects you're working on. What I want to talk about is lifting women, because it's like for me it was missing before you did it. It was so clear that we need something like this, but nobody did it. So you and Anna Kurst planned it, and now you're planning it for the next month, next years. What is it?
So Lifting Women is actually a phoenix, a rise of a phoenix. And I say that because if any of you know a little bit about my background, I had a company called Shishi. They were fitness retreats, day retreats, and it was for women to, for me to kind of ignite your fire again within yourself, your self-worth through fitness and nutrition. That's my platform. That was taken from me literally underneath my feet. And it was a very, very big learning curve for me, because one of my closest friends and business partner took it from me without me even seeing it. And I saw it as a sign. I broke down. I can remember the moment. I remember where I was. I couldn't breathe. I felt that someone had ripped my soul out. And I couldn't believe that this happens. But when I look back now, and that was in January, when I look back now, all I can do is thank her. And because I have now created Lifting Women. Lifting Women has 2 parts to it, and it has a double meaning. So you lift and we lift each other up. And you're so right, Alex, because there has been an opening for this, but it just hasn't happened in the right way. So I feel very, very blessed that I'm the first one to create this. And, if there are people who follow and create their own, fantastic. Let's create our own movements. Like, if I inspire you to do your version, I don't see it as you copying me. I see it as me inspiring you to do something that you love, as long as it's authentic to you. And there are 2 parts to Lifting Women. There is one, which is the athletic, which I do with Anna. So Anna is the head coach of the athletic part of Lifting Women. And that is something that we do once a month. The goal is to use a different box every single month, because CrossFit to me is a community. CrossFit is about coming together and supporting each other, regardless if your box is 2 kilometers away or 200 kilometers away. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's not a competition unless you're on the dance floor. So we need to come together. Each box has the most incredible women in each box, but we don't know each other. So let's bring that together and let's lift together. And it's not just about lifting. It's about, I know nutrition people, I know graphic designers, I know podcast hosts, I know lawyers. These women have so many amazing jobs, and we're a network within ourselves. So I want it to be about learning and networking and at the end of the day, having fun. It's a lifting session at the beginning. It's a team WOD at the end. The first one booked out in literally 10 minutes. And it's 2.5 hours. And I was very blessed to have a vote wanting to host the first one. Money goes to a charity every month. So we choose a women's charity where some money goes to the charity, some money goes to the box. And I hope that all the boxes get on board. And I even had a couple of boxers reach out to me after one of the posts, and they were like, if you want to come to Cologne or if you want to come to Hamburg, you can have the space.
Yeah.
This is what I want to hear from box owners, not anything else. I want to hear, you know what? Bring it. Bring it here.
Yeah.
Let's bring the women in Hamburg together. Let's bring the women in Cologne together. Let's bring the women in Berlin together. That's the Lifting Women athletic side. And then there is a Lifting Women Summit, which is becoming the CEO of your life. In the morning, we lift together, we work out. And then on the first day, there is a coach who comes in and talks about women in finance. How do I invest? How do I create my own startup? How do I invest in a company? How do I make me a brand? I want to create a nail polish, or I want to create a tech or an app. How do I do that? So having someone there giving you the tools, and then having a business coach putting those tools together and making a workshop out of it and making you make steps in your life. And then a nice panel talk at the end with a lot of entrepreneurs that I work with and have in my circle that have a lot of great information and have started their own companies. Same thing would happen on the second day, but we would focus a lot more on training. So training and hormones for women, recovery and nutrition. Same thing with the coaches, and then with a panel talk.
Wow. Well,
yeah.
If I hear that, it's like, yeah, we already got this, don't we? No, we don't, because it's not like just a training. It's like more of working on yourself, especially get lifted by somebody else and have contact with other ones and have a little bit more community out of it. Is that the case? Or is it like totally different from all the other concepts on the market right now?
I feel that I'm bringing them all together. Like a lot of the time my projects come from my clients, because what I see my clients need and where the niche is, I feel that there is an uprise in supporting women at the moment. And I do feel that, you know, men can also come to the summit. It's not that it's just for women, but it is focused on lifting women up and reminding women that you're capable of whatever you want and whatever and however big your dream is, and to not ignore that, to not just stay in a job where you're not happy, but it brings and it pays the bills. There are a lot of the reasons people don't step out and take a leap of faith is because they don't have the information to do that. So I want to give a platform or create a platform that enables women to feel that they have the knowledge and not have an imposter syndrome where they think I've got to go and learn more, or I need to do this. Sometimes outsourcing and getting a bit of help from outside is what you need. So there are some platforms. Yes, there are business courses, there are master classes. What I have always done and what works is the connection I have with people. It's personal. It's one-on-one. Like our group, even if in the summit there would be 40 people, 40 places, but in the workshop there's only 20. In the athletic lifting women, there's 20 spots. I want to look at you. I want to laugh with you. I want to cry with you. I want to cheer you on. I don't want there to be so many people. And I think with the other platforms, it's a mass production of, you know, like online or, you know, virtual.
Yeah, right.
Sure, maybe I'm not a very good businesswoman. I'm not going to make as much money. But at the end of the day, I'm driven by passion, and I need to touch it, and I need to hold you, and I need to remind you that you can do it and that you're enough.
So how could I support you on that project? Like just spreading out your mission on Instagram, or is there I can do more?
You believing in me already is so much. And to be honest, I think just spreading the word and you know, let's get the functional fitness studios and the boxers on board, that to remind each other that we're a community and we support each other. We lift each other up. And if a new box opens in a city, why are all the owners of every other box not there? That's how this should be. When a box opens, every other box should be there, supporting each other, lifting each other up. because that's what we do. You want to compete against me? Meet me on the dance floor. I will compete against you till my last breath. But in a box, I will support you and I'll lift you up. And that's the community that I want to build. My niche is through women. Hopefully what I do just through this lifting women and what Anna and what we create will resonate and ripple maybe into the rest of it. I'm not sure. I hope so. So spread the word, become a part of lifting women, wear the t-shirts, male or female. You know, let's get it out there. Let's make something of it, and let's watch it organically grow into something. This is just the beginning. I don't know where it's going to go, but my dreams are big. So maybe you can come with me and it turns into a competition, or you host it, or I don't know.
Well, I would love to do that. I really supporting lifting women, because it's not just I mean, it's a charity thought, and it's like a really good point where we can work and start out. I mean, supporting each other and lifting somebody else is like the main thing, I would say, what I did for the last years. But in this project, it's I want to support you and Anna as well. So I invite everybody who's listening this episode to do the same. Alex, it was so nice to talk to you for today. I hope we're gonna see us in a few weeks when when probably the lockdown is over. Did you have fun today?
I did. Thank you so much for having me on here. It's great. I love talking about, you know, maybe something that we said inspired somebody. And if we just reach one person through a podcast, makes them feel good for the day, then, you know, I feel like our job is done.
I hope so too. Thank you really, Alex, for today. I'm going to end this episode for now, but I'm not hanging up.